Death Spiral, the only anime podcast that's brave enough to read the full playlist for Christina Hendricks' Shoe Pop Dream Gaze DJ set in its entirety, starting with Broken Heart by Spiritualize. Yes, love theme from Lost River. Drink I'm Sippin' On by Yeji. Hug of Thunder by Broken Social Scene. How Can I Make It Okay? Wolf Alice. New Song by Warpaint. Papa Power by Dead Man's Bones. Machinist by Japanese Breakfast. Michael Mann by Youth Team. Heartbeats by The Knife. Thunder by Catnap. Ivo by Cocteau Twins. Joseph Porter by The Deadly Syndrome. The Birds by Rick Cuevas. I Do You by Anna of the North. Cruel Summer by Bananarama. And The Day We Met Never Ended For Me by Talvi.
Killer lineup.
Crazy For You by Causeway. Loss Ageless by St. Vincent. The Judge by Desire. Waxwing by Sorry. Dance While You Shoot by Noga Erez. Ghost by Halsey. Boys of Summer by Esper Star. West Coast by Lana Del Rey. Hell Is Round the Corner by Tricky. Martina by Topply Birds. Gooey from Glass Animals. The Forgotten People by Thievery Corporation. God by Tori Amos. The Ghost Inside by Broken Bells and Danger Mouse. She Bangs Drums by The Stone Roses. I Did It by Kitten. Can I Call You in the Morning by The Beaches. Heavy Metal Heart by Sky Ferreira. Horse Pills by The Dandy Warhols. Lover I Don't Have to Love by Bright Eyes. Velvet Morning by The Verve. Love is a Big Light by The Stevenson Ranch Davidians. In the Morning I'll Be Better by Tennis. Girl of the Year by Beach House. Rescue by The Asteroid Number 4. Vapor Trail by Ride. First Love, Late Spring by Mitski. Crazy For You by Slow Dive. Half Silences by Loma. And Waiting Game by Banks.
Wow.
Why didn't you stop me at any? I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you to stop me. Great. Now you have the whole list. You have the whole set list. That's Christina Hendricks' 4-hour Shoe Pop Dream Gaze DJ set.
And these were all songs from episodes of Mad Men?
No, this is songs from her DJ set.
Christina Hendricks from Mad Men, though. We're talking about that one?
Yes.
Interesting.
This is her 4-hour Shoe Pop Dream Gaze DJ set. I hope you wrote it down, audience.
Stop saying that. None of those words make sense in that order. I don't know what you're talking
Her
is.
Shoe Pop Dream Gaze themed 4-hour DJ set. Starting with Broken Heart by Spiritualize.
Stop it.
Yes, the love theme from Lost River.
Okay. I can't right now. I've never seen Mad Men. I don't know what any of this means.
It has nothing to do with Mad Men. I don't know why you keep saying Mad Men.
That's the only thing that I know Christina Hendricks from.
You know her from her Shoe Pop Dream Gaze DJ set.
Okay.
Which has nothing to do with Mad Men. You gotta love some of these tracks. Ghost by Halsey, that's a good track. I like Halsey.
Mm-hmm. I like the Dandy Warhols are in there. You know, I like. That's a good pick.
I like Glass Animals. The Stone Roses are pretty great. People aren't really talking about the Stone Roses anymore, but they're great.
No.
I
already glazed over. I couldn't. You're gonna have to repeat the whole list for me. Let's start from the top.
All right. I'll just give you the highlights.
Okay.
Bright Eyes.
Yeah, I like Bright Eyes.
Yeah, Lover I Don't Have to Love. That's in there.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like that episode of Mad Men that was in.
Mitski, of course. You're a big Mitski fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. St. Vincent, of course. Lana Del Rey. These are all people you really into. Thievery Corp, right? Of course.
Oh yeah, obviously. Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Who hasn't?
Tori Amos.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Tori, that's grandma music.
I know. Broken Social Scene as well. I think that's kind of old person music now.
Yeah, boomer shit.
Yeah. Japanese Breakfast is pretty popular. They're still pretty popular. Maybe with older people though. That doesn't feel like a Zoomer band. I know the singer that just wrote a book, which is crazy. If you're a singer in a popular band, don't write books. What are you doing?
Stay in your lane. Yeah. Write the songs. Stick to lyrics. They're much shorter than chapters.
Yeah, and they don't have to be good or make sense. We all know Cruel Summer by Bananarama, which has now been cannibalized, obviously, by Taylor Swift.
Who?
Kind of the one Taylor Swift song I like, actually. I like Cruel Summer. I don't know if I like the Bananarama version, honestly. I don't know if I've heard
Bananarama,
it
those are the guys that dress up in like the mascot costumes from the 60s, right?
Do they wear costumes? I think I've only heard their music.
Yeah, they dress up in like big mascot. They're from the 60s. They made that horror movie that came out at the same time as Five Nights at Freddy's, so no one paid attention to it.
Can I be honest? I fucking hate pop music from the 60s.
Really?
I hate it. It's so bad.
Wait, do you hate the Beatles?
I mean, yeah, kind of. Honestly, I can respect some of the like songwriting, but like I'm not like into the Beatles. Like,
I'm gonna clip this. I'm gonna clip this, and I'm gonna put it on the internet, and we're gonna get our first million views from you saying that you hate the Beatles.
I don't know if that's even controversial anymore. I know Zoomers aren't listening to the Beatles. Come on, man. I've played guitar. I'm a guitar player, so obviously I've learned a bunch of Beatles songs over the years. You know, instrumentation is important, but I'm not like listening to the Beatles. I'm not putting that shit on.
Sure.
It's not cool.
Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely a kind of bubblegum feel that can be grating with a lot of 60s pop music, for sure.
Yeah.
But there's good stuff out there. I mean, like, no, never mind. Can't think of one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what was good in the 60s was movie soundtracks.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Every kid had the French Connection soundtrack in their vinyl collection. It was huge.
I was thinking like, somebody like Bernard Herrmann, who was just killing it on like literally everything. Worked with Hitchcock a lot, who apparently Hitchcock hated. Did you know that? That Hitchcock fucking hated his guts?
Really? I did not know that.
I think that's very funny. But like, every single person, including Zoomers, know the Psycho Sting. So like, I mean, undisputed champion.
Psycho Sting. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Oh, wait.
Well,
Are you talking about the famous Reanimator Sting?
Reanimator.
Well, because I know that, Hitchcock stole the music for Psycho from Reanimator.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Well, Bernard Herrmann would have done it.
Well, on Hitchcock's orders.
On his orders.
That's why they hated each other. The deal went sour.
Yeah, he executed the command on Hitchcock's orders. And a few years later, we get John Williams, of course, who wrote the single most iconic soundtrack in probably all of music.
Yeah, the Star Trek theme.
Music history. That's a good ass theme, man. Desilu Productions.
Oh yeah, great.
You know what's cool is that all people who write music for Star Wars now have to like copy John Williams, even if they don't want to. Like they have to bend over backwards to like make something that sounds similar to one of the best music film scorers of all time.
Well, there's like 4 modern film scorers. There's John Williams, who's a bajillion years old now, so he's not going to be around for much longer. There's Danny Elfman. There's
also almost dead.
Yeah. There's Mark Mothersbaugh, who is in television prison. He does. If you've heard a theme song on a TV show, like 60% chance it's Mark Mothersbaugh from Devo.
Well, Johnny Greenwood has been doing a lot of soundtracks for the last decade or so. He's in a lot of stuff. Obviously, Nine Inch Nails doing a lot of soundtracks these days for some reason. Just did the fucking Tron.
Oh, yeah.
Tron Infinity? Tron Revenge? What the fuck is that stupid movie called?
Yeah, Tron Ares.
Why?
I don't know. And it's not even connected to the Daft Punk Tron, which is like the stupidest thing ever. They totally abandoned that. I mean, let's be honest, Tron died with Daft Punk. I think that's pretty clear.
There is no reason to watch a Tron movie unless Daft Punk is in it.
Yeah.
I am willing to say that.
No, that's not even a hot take. That's just an objective fact.
That is not a hot take.
Yeah.
And of course, the Mad Max Fury Road soundtrack, which was by Junkie XL, another guy who transitioned from like actual pop music into soundtracks. And we all know that fucking bangs.
And then we have the capstone on this entire group, which is, Hans Zimmer, the man.
Yes,
Hans.
He's pretty good. Unfortunately, he's done a kind of a bad run of movies.
I think Hans is probably the closest in contemporary category to a John Williams type amongst all of these. That's my feeling.
He does orchestrations. That's true. He actually orchestrates.
He's an actual composer, one might say.
He does compositions. You know what I'll say? There was an interesting thing. I had an ulterior motive for bringing that up because I went and saw Mandalorian and Grogu. Mando and Baby Yoda.
Oh, wait. Okay, now this is give the audience a moment to clap at home, while they're listening.
I know all of you went and saw it too.
Yep. We're talking about Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Grogu. Everybody clap.
And I just wanted to mention, because it's such a huge thing, and as the rebirth of the show, we're trying to talk about popular stuff. It's like a big new thrust for the show is like popular stuff.
Yeah, I guess we should back up and just preface all of this that this is episode 1 of Anime Death Spiral season 2. We're gonna do some new stuff, try out some new avenues here. We're gonna try and break into the world of the popular stuff. See what's going on there.
We're trying to go viral. We're going to go viral. Nobody listens to podcasts anymore, but we'll try to get them to listen to this one by going viral.
Yep.
And that includes talking about like Star Wars again. Last time we talked about Star Wars was when they had a Star Wars anime. I think we were pretty justified there. That
was pretty on brand. I'm not, it was a solid decision. But obviously, it is a wide world out there. It's 2026. It's the future is now, and we've got to embrace everything. And that includes Star Wars.
Yeah, and you'll remember that last Star Wars bit when I said the Star Wars anime season 2, the Star Wars Visions. Some of the shorts in that set, the anthology set, were the best Star Wars movies ever made.
Yep. Yeah. Yes, that bit, that comedy bit that you were doing.
Yeah. Which brings us to Mandalorian and Grogu.
Everybody clap.
Neither one show up in any of the Star Wars Visions. Well, in fact, I don't know if we have a single Yoda or Mandalorian in any of those shorts.
I think that's intentional. I think that with a franchise this size, when you're trying to steer a ship this big, you want to keep your important components close at hand. You want to keep a lock and key on those, right? So they're not gonna let just any Joe Blow animator take a crack at Yoda, at the Mandalorian and his Grogu, at a Luke Skywalker. No,
a helmet man, a man who wears a helmet.
Yeah, no. You gotta prove your bona fides first on little short stories that ultimately end up outshining any other effort that you've put into the franchise.
Star Wars project, including the Oscar bait shit and the Emmy bait shit, the Andor and all that.
Okay, that's real
outdone
quick
by
aside.
Cartoons.
Real quick aside, Andor. Everybody's talking about how fucking this is the one prevailing sentiment I keep hearing about Mandalorian and Grogu is everyone's talking about how much better Andor is, and
that's true.
The thing is and here's my hot take: Andor is still bad because it's Star Wars. Star Wars is dumb and bad, and I don't care if Andor is good. It's bad because it's Star Wars.
The weird thing about Andor is that it is pretty good, but all the bad stuff in it is the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, no matter how good it is, it's still Star Wars.
It's weird. It is a really, truly bizarre cultural product.
Yeah.
But Mandalorian and Grogu is very Star Wars, and it is not like Star Wars at the periphery. It is like Star Wars as Star Wars. in the way that it is literally based on like those same sci-fi action adventure pulp novels that that original Star Wars was based on. So it's interestingly, these are more like the original Star Wars trilogies than even like the prequel series or the sequel series or most of these TV shows, or even the stuff like Clone Wars, Star Wars Outlaws, all that shit.
Yes.
This is actually in the same vein as that stuff, which is very strange. It's strange to think about that. We all know the famous part about how Werner Herzog saved the TV show by convincing them not to digitize the baby Yoda.
Yeah, the meme story is he called them cowards. You are cowards for using CGI.
Yes, which they are.
Which they are. I think probably, same with fucking Viggo Mortensen kicking the helmet, right? It's kind of become like a marketing point for that first season of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
The story of Werner Herzog saving the puppet is as much a fabrication of its marketing as anything else.
Well, it's one of those things where you print the legend, right? As some other podcasts say about Stephen King. You print the legend. The behind the scenes stuff is always like, you got to kind of pump up the epicness.
I am always saying that about Stephen King.
Either way, the Baby Yoda is the one of the best things that has ever happened to Star Wars. Obviously,
Baby Yoda might be the single best decision that a Star Wars has ever made. And I don't say that lightly. Those original trilogies, again, I don't like Star Wars as a franchise. I like the original Star Wars as like kind of a fun 70s sci-fi movie. I think it's really cool.
Yeah. I watch those. I'll watch those anytime.
I'll watch those.
Fuck it.
And they have a lot of very cool, charming little greeblies in them, right? That's what makes them so fun to watch. And
we've got a dream team. Hold on, we got a dream team on that shit too, because check this out. We got Jim Henson and Phil Tippett.
Yep.
God damn, dude. That's fucking stacked. And John Williams on the score, like I said.
Yeah.
It's like talent coming together to make this shit.
It's unironically comparable to the conflux of talent that brought about, like One Punch Man season 1. It was just
yeah.
I mean, no, I'm not. Hey, I'm trying to keep it on brand here, okay?
Okay. Yeah. Right, anime.
I'm just saying that it was a very lucky kind of whirlwind of the right people working on the right project at the right time. And it became a cultural phenomenon, not for unknown reasons, right?
Sure.
And so
Mamoru Oshii working with Shiro Masamune.
Yes.
On Ghost in the Shell.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, bringing it back to on brand.
Keep it on brand. And so, I think Baby Yoda is the scientifically lab-grown and refined, like, culmination of everything that made those original Star Wars movies so, charming and popular and fun for people. It is almost evil in its genetic composition, in how it is intended to, like, cause a physical chemical reaction in people who look at it. Baby Yoda is a mind control psyop.
Baby Yoda is a weapon of mass destruction.
In pop culture terms, absolutely.
Baby Yoda is maybe, I'm trying to think, like, honestly about the sequel trilogy. I think none of that stuff like stuck culturally. But Baby Yoda has transformed modern culture. You look at any property now, it's trying to get a Baby Yoda in there. Everything. They're all trying to get Baby Yodas. They're not hitting the same notes, though, because the original Baby Yoda is the shit. It's good shit.
Okay.
I don't really care about Boba Fett's. Don't care that much. He was a guy with a jetpack. I mean, come on. His ship was called Slave One. Did you know that?
Yes, I did know that. I'm sorry.
What the fuck?
I have the most insane kind of tangential story about a Baby Yoda. And I'm gonna need you to bear with me here.
All right, go ahead.
Because I'm not gonna name any names on who or when this happened. but basically, a friend of a friend was telling us about how they got fired, discharged from their job in the military because at the time of the first season of Mandalorian, there was a social media craze of people taking pictures of themselves with their life-size Baby Yoda dolls, right?
Uh-huh.
And
He's not that big, so easy to do.
And this person commented on what they thought was a shit post of one of those types of pictures that featured someone who had just had a stroke in a hospital bed, holding a Baby Yoda doll, and the Facebook comment caption underneath it was "Daddy had a strokey wokey." And this person commented on the photo saying "Wow, this is really funny. This is a really funny shit post." It was a 100% sincere post, and the person who originally posted it was so offended by this comment that they hounded the military into discharging this person.
Don't post, folks.
Do not post.
Don't post. It's not worth it.
Anyway, I say all of this to illustrate the cultural impact that Baby Yoda had on people. People lost their jobs.
This is pretty wild shit.
Yes. Anyway,
the point is that Grogu basically carries Star Wars, which makes it interesting that the first Star Wars movie in many years now at this point, which is weird to think about.
7 years. 7 years since Rise of Skywalker was in theaters. Since
they got burnt,
Palpatine returned
so hard.
somehow.
Yeah, it's they got Game of Thrones, memory hold super hard. They were literally scared to do another one for this long. So they're dipping the toes back in the water. They figure the safest possible bet. They throw the most popular Star Wars character possibly ever into the mix. We got Grogu, we got the Baby Yoda up on the screen. What I think is interesting is almost nothing about the movie, which is unfortunate for the movie. There's very little interesting stuff about the movie. I do think, in terms of the soundtrack, which is what we were originally talking about, the soundtrack is by Ludwig Göransson, this Swedish guy, I guess, who did an incredibly brave thing. And he made a soundtrack that sounds nothing like Star Wars, nothing like John Williams. I thought that was very interesting about the movie. I wanted to note that as something brave, because nothing else is brave about this. As we all know, bringing it back on theme, Mandalorian and Baby Yoda is just Lone Wolf and Cub. We all know this, has been discussed to death.
Mm-hmm.
That has never been more apparent than in Mandalorian and Grogu, where roughly half the scenes where they are in a scene together is directly taken from Shogun Assassin. Just wholesale, just copy paste.
Well, the DNA for that goes all the way back. That's just Star Wars. I mean, Star Wars, the original one, is just the plot of Hidden Fortress.
Yes, very famously.
Star Wars is stealing from Kurosawa. That's what Star Wars is.
Sure, but lasers.
Kurosawa, but laser.
Yes. I think it is strange that it has never been more blatant than in this movie. It's very strange. They even do a meta commentary at one point where Baby Yoda jumps into a baby carriage.
Well, okay, so I don't know. Did you keep up with The Mandalorian seasons 1 through 3?
Oh God, no.
Yeah. I don't think most people did. The baby carrier has been there, and like we said, the Lone Wolf and Cub stuff has been in this series, the Mandalorian series, since the beginning. I think what you're experiencing right now may have been less noticeable in the original iteration of this, because it's pretty obvious that Mandalorian and Grogu is it was just supposed to be season 4 of The Mandalorian, and someone at Disney got scared that they haven't had a Star Wars in a theater for a long time. And they're like, well, Mandalorian, Baby Yoda is the only thing people give a shit about. The only thing. We need to get people back into theaters to see a Star Wars. So let's turn season 4 of Mandalorian into a movie. We'll chop it up. We'll smush all the action bits together, and we'll just make it a 2 and I don't even know how long it is. 2.5 hours. 2 hours.
It's like 2 hours.
2 hours. We'll just make it a 2-hour movie and just get rid of all of the fluff in between the action bits. And what you're left with, what you're seeing right now, is just basically a bumper reel of Lone Wolf and Cub tribute shots, more or less.
Well, there are things. So there are other things, and this is the interesting part because, like I said, only like 50% of this is Lone Wolf and Cub. And to the other stuff, like a friend of mine pointed out, this is them testing the waters for Star Wars Starfighter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is going to be like the real Star Wars project.
We're already doing that. We're going to call this the real Star Wars now.
Well, not Grogu. I mean, Grogu is his own thing. Baby Yoda is like its own production company at this point. You got Baby Grogu. He's like pulling his weight.
Listen, 15 years from now, Baby Yoda is going to replace Mickey Mouse. Watch it.
I prefer Baby Yoda to Mickey Mouse.
Sure, who doesn't? Again, he's amazing. Everybody loves Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda's great. And that plays into what I wanted to say about the movie, really, is that a lot of the other parts of the movie are direct references to the first movie. It plays way closer to A New Hope than almost any other Star Wars I've seen in a long time. Which, to its benefit, if it had kind of more of a coherent plot, I think it would actually pull it off. But there are a couple sequences in the movie near the end, kind of the back half, where, and check this shit out, Baby Yoda teams up with an entire ship of Babu Fricks.
Little guys. You know, what's better than a Baby Yoda? Guys that are littler than Baby Yoda.
Littler than Baby Yoda. And check this shit out. They hang out and they do a little mission together. And the Babu Fricks are also little puppets. So you got these little puppets, and they call Baby Yoda the baby, which is fucking great.
The baby.
And he towers over them. He gets into their little tiny spaceship at one point, and he's like taking up the whole thing. It's incredibly good. This is good. There's about 20 minutes of this where Baby Yoda, he's doing his thing. He's hanging out with the Babu Fricks. This is delightful. This is the best Star Wars has been in a long time. I'm having a great time. I'm mostly bored until this point, but then you got Baby Yoda hanging out with Babu Fricks. This shit fucking rocks, dude. It's Jim Henson. We got the Jim Henson stuff in here. It's fucking great.
Well, and did you know that do you remember the big fight scene where Mandalorian is fighting like the 4 or 5 big robots all at the same time?
Yeah.
Those are all stop motion, and Phil Tippett did that scene. They got him back as well.
Yes. Somebody told me that, and I was very surprised because I thought Phil Tippett had checked himself back into a mental facility.
You know, they brought him out of the carbonite cryosleep. They unfrosted him, had him do a big robot fight scene, and then put him back in the hole.
I mean, he is the man. Everybody should go and watch Mad God, which almost killed him. It's cool as hell. Yeah, I thought that was cool. And that's all kind of stuff in the back half. And like, there's another creature briefly where that I believe is also a practical puppet because it does not get up out of its chair and it pretty much only moves its head and mouth. So I think that one was also a puppet. I don't know. But that's delightful. That's incredibly good. I love Baby Yoda hanging out with Babu Fricks. This should have been the entire movie. It's incredible. Unfortunately, it is like maybe 20 minutes tops.
Now imagine that 20 minutes, it could have been extrapolated into like a 45-minute episode.
It could have been the whole movie.
Yeah, it could have been the whole movie.
Been an hour and a half where Mandalorian gets kidnapped. He gets taken out by one of the Straw Hat samurais from Ghost of Yotai, and he's thrown in a prison, and then Babu Fricks and Yoda's baby, they go fucking Metal Gear Solid on their asses and do a stealth mission to rescue him. You can do 90 minutes of that.
Yeah.
Easily. And that would crush so hard. Do you even understand how hard that would crush?
No,
I can comprehend.
I can envision it. Unfortunately, we got to fit in, some face shots for Pedro Pascal. We're paying him to read all these lines.
Which I hate, because he has a mustache. I hate that.
Hey,
I need to make it clear.
We've talked about this. Regular guys have mustaches again. And I don't like it. Nobody likes it.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that if you wear a helmet your entire fucking life, and that's your whole personality is that you wear a helmet, you don't have a mustache. You don't. We can agree on this, right? That if you wear a helmet 24/7, you even eat with it on, you don't have a mustache.
What if the mustache is just for him? What if he just really likes having the mustache?
How could he like it? How could he like it? Oh, shit. Anyway, it made me sad. It's one of those things, again, where you go and you see kind of a bad movie, and it's fine. It's mostly fine, because whatever. You see bad movies a lot, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But when you see a bad movie that has one sliver of a great movie in it, it makes you mad. If you're me, it makes you fucking mad.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I wish I had just watched 20 minutes of Babu Frick with Baby Yoda. Man, I would have. I mean, god damn, I would have come out of this thing and being like, Star Wars is fucking back.
Yeah. Well, I don't. There were some things that I didn't. That I liked about it. Some stuff that I really didn't understand, and this is not specific to Star Wars. This is more of just like a thing in general, I suppose.
You don't get how the lightsabers stop at a certain point. Shouldn't the laser go all the way?
Shouldn't the lasers go forever, right? Without it getting reflected back? Isn't that how lasers work? No.
How do they do that?
It's my understanding that they got Jeremy Allen White to play Jabba the Hutt's son.
Yes, they did.
And it's like, why? Why are we getting? I don't know. Is Jeremy Allen White a tier celebrity yet? Is he a big name? He played Bruce Springsteen in that movie.
Yeah, I think they're kind of pushing him to be A tier.
Yeah.
The Bear did really well.
Yeah.
So
anyway, why are we paying Jeremy Allen White to do a CGI worm guy with abs? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. It would have been fine, except he's really, really bad at it. Like, really bad.
It would have been even funnier if he doesn't speak, like, English in his role. Because
he shouldn't have.
Jabba the Hutt didn't speak English. He was going,
yeah.
Yeah. It would have been really funny if they paid Jeremy Allen White like, $3 million or whatever to get into a sound booth and just like make up weird alien words.
Yes, I would have found that delightful too. And they do have other Hutts in the movie speaking Huttese or whatever, Huttian, whatever they call it. Hutties.
Yeah.
So it's even weirder that they have one other guy who just speaks English. It's very strange. And he doesn't even have the voice effect, right? They like do a sort of a voice doubling thing because you have to, but he doesn't speak down here. Like he doesn't do that at all. He just talks like Jeremy Allen White. Do you know how hard it is when you're Jabba the Hutt's son? It's crazy.
Spot
it's so
on.
crazy that they did that. Mind-boggling. And he's terrible. He's like the worst part of the movie.
Yeah.
It's just like endlessly bad. Super boring. Not good.
No.
Then I saw I Love Boosters and that like wiped it away from my brain. So I'm glad for that. That was like fucking mental floss, as they say.
That was good then? You enjoyed that one?
Go see that shit. That shit fucking rocks.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. I'm not even going to elaborate on that because you need to just see it. It's fucking awesome.
I mean, I really enjoyed Sorry to Bother You, so I'm sure it's great.
Oh my God. Lakeith Stanfield his character is so funny and weird. It's so great. He's so great. There is a scene with Lakeith in this movie that I don't think anyone will ever forget, like in their entire lives. It's wild.
All right. If times keep going like they are projected to, we are going to be talking about Baby Yoda plenty in the future. Let's try and steer it back on brand a little bit. Let's talk about some manga. We haven't talked about manga in a while.
We talked about a little bit of manga last time. I would like to get a few more out because we did spend many episodes in a row talking about premieres. And the stuff that I've watched recently is stuff that we already talked about. I finished up Shiba Yugi, playing death games to put food on the table. I found it interesting that it goes farther than the manga because it's based on a light novel, and you don't see that too often, which is kind of interesting. Where the anime is pushing forward. I found that interesting.
We're actually I can't remember the name. That Yuri anime from last season is in the same situation about the Yuri, about the Bochi type character that I was talking about. Anyway, same situation. It's based off a light novel, and the anime is just about to push out or push past where the manga has adapted to. So kind of the same thing.
We should talk about that when I'm reading an elongated essay by Greg Jenkins about Stanley Kubrick's book adaptations, and I think applying it to light novel anime adaptations would be very interesting. We should do that when I'm done with this book. But
I think that'd be fun.
It would be very strange. But I did read some stuff, waiting for the Dorohedoro final episode, which is this week. I'm very excited about. But I did read some stuff I wanted to catch us up on.
Okay.
Because one of them is just straight up something we probably should have addressed at some point, at any point. But I did read all of Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo.
Oh,
do you remember this?
Yes, yeah. I know.
Remember this?
Yeah, I remember this. Well, the last time I remember thinking about Modulo was when the final episode of season 3 for Jujutsu Kaisen came out, and on the same day they announced the anime is going to be produced eventually for Modulo. They have it in the wings, which sounds crazy because, like, I know that season 3 is like we're kind of moving towards like the end of Jujutsu Kaisen, like all the big events
are we?
Yeah, are kind of like converging, but it still feels so far off. Like, I don't know. I feel. Do you think a season 4 is going to be enough to completely wrap everything up in terms of the manga, like, events?
Well, I mean, like what you complained about a lot is that it is just a tournament arc.
Yeah.
Not even a traditional death game, even though it's called the culling game. It is really just a tournament arc because everyone just pairs off and has duels.
I mean, what is a tournament other than a very organized death game?
It is a very structured death game where people fight each other on equal ground.
Yeah.
Whereas a death game is usually like nobody knows what's happening and people are just dying randomly.
Well, it's all about management and logistics. With the right people in charge, you can make everything run smoothly.
I think people are really going to like it, though, because there is currently a small cottage industry of people just pumping out tournament arc manga. They don't even need premises anymore. They just introduce characters and make them fight.
Yeah. Well, that is the extrapolation of, what Dragon Ball started, right? Dragon Ball introduced the classic shonen tournament arc, and then this is just the logical conclusion of everything that's grown from that.
You just slice off all the other stuff, and it's just tournament arc.
I mean, that's why Super Smash Brothers is so much fun and popular, right? It's just you get to fight with your action figures. That's literally what Super Smash Brothers is, and that's what these are. It's just play with the action figures, smash them together.
Yeah, Smash rules.
Yeah.
It doesn't even need to be said, but I am pro Smash.
Final Destination, only, no items, Fox.
Well, I disagree because I do like the items. I like the stage hazards and I like the items. And I don't mind tripping, so that's where I'm at.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not a tryhard. I like playing like silly Smash game matches.
Yeah, I like the chaos. It's fun.
Yeah.
Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo. Now, it's weird that they announced an anime for a couple reasons. One, that it's only 25 chapters.
Well, first of all, it's not going to be a full anime season. It's going to be a movie.
Okay, that I was about to say, this is like a movie amount of plot.
Yeah.
There's like not that much going on.
Yeah, it's going to be a TV movie.
This is insanely weird and has almost nothing to do with Jujutsu Kaisen. That's the other part that I find strange.
Well, it's in the future, right?
Not only is it in the future, but it's about a very slow motion alien invasion.
Okay.
Did you know that part?
I knew that it was vaguely tied to space, but I just figured that, there was magic on the moon as well.
Wizards on the moon?
Yeah, Wizards on the Moon.
No. They bypass the moon completely. They take their spaceship into orbit. They send a couple dudes down. Those dudes have to hang out with a couple of Jujutsu Kaisen guys that we've never met. These are all way in the future. It's the grandchildren of legacy characters. I'll leave it at that.
Sure. Well, I mean, mostly. I know, I guess, spoilers. I know Yuji kind of, his situation ends up with some level of being a weird immortal now. He shows up at the end.
Itadori is in the manga very briefly, not even enough to kind of like give you any kind of closure on his character, which is strange. We get 3 pages of Kugisaki, which offends me personally. Really mad about that, honestly. Like you did her so dirty, and then you rub it in with your sequel manga. Like, I kind of like, fuck you. I like you, Gigi, but like, fuck you for that. What's wrong with you, man? That's not cool. That was my girl, and it's not fucking cool.
Not cool, man.
Yeah, this is really fucking strange. It doesn't have the tone of the manga. We don't really do any curse hunting except for like on the periphery of the story. The main focus is about these characters who aren't even human. Definitely not sorcerers in any way. They don't kill curses.
Just full-on aliens.
This is just a story about aliens coming to Earth and like trying to see if they can coexist with humans. That's it. That's the whole story. Why does this exist?
Well, okay, so if we're speculating, which is entirely what we do on this show, then, first thing that comes to mind is that this is a experiment to test the waters on a new sci-fi story that Gigi has been like mulling on and was afraid to just release it by itself, and so at last minute decided like I need to tie this in to Jujutsu Kaisen to draw in a built-in audience, because no one's going to just jump onto this based off of my name alone yet. Especially since, like, I don't know, are people split on the ending to Jujutsu Kaisen still? I remember people not liking, or a vocal population of people not liking the ending very much.
I think he made an incredible amount of like fuck you choices, which is almost like staggering, which I do respect. But there was a lot of stuff that happened in the final Sukuna fight. Sorry if you're spoiled by that, but they do fight Sukuna at the end.
Oh, they fight the main villain of the series?
They do fight the main villain, if you could believe that. And man, people don't like how that went. I think in general, for a lot of reasons, they do not like how that went down.
Yeah. That was my general understanding. And so
yeah,
with that, it feels like a weird...
Could be a make good.
Yeah, well, I mean, but does it make good? You said this doesn't fix anything, or it doesn't address any of those issues from the end of Jujutsu Kaisen. This is a mostly detached story that kind of like, throws a couple legacy references in there for reasons, which is what I'm trying to figure out.
I think for Jujutsu Kaisen fans, just to lay out a theory, we just want to touch these characters like one more time, just to kind of like as a comfort, because it ends so abruptly. that there's no epilogue for any of these people, really. We don't get to say goodbye to any of them. And I think if you have any kind of lingering affection for Itadori or whatever, maybe you just want to just touch these characters one more time, And I think that it works for that kind of. Maybe I don't know.
I guess that's what I'm trying to say, though. What I was saying before about this trying to ride the coattails of Jujutsu Kaisen's fan base to gain some kind of initial.
That's really hard for both of us to say for some
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Trying to, draw in some of its existing fans to something new, right? If people are so pissed off at the ending, then that seems like a weird decision, to remind them, hey, here's all, it's still Jujutsu Kaisen. That ending that you didn't like, we're just not going to address it. We're just going to kind of time skip past it.
Time went on.
I guess. It's almost, I would wager that maybe it was an editorial decision. Maybe they are afraid of trying to put out something not JJK related soon, and said,
"We do hate editorial on this podcast
so much." I don't know. Well, and hey, Gigi hates editorial too. He's been very vocal about that.
Yeah. Not a fan.
My favorite thing in all of those early Jujutsu Kaisen, still can't say it.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
In all of those early volume omake comics at the start of each one is him just writing these little comics to trash his editor in each one. He's like, yeah, this decision, I didn't want to do it, but they made me. And I guess it worked out, but man, I really hate that guy. He sucks.
Yeah.
I think that's funny. More creators should openly bash their bosses in their work.
That is funny. I do enjoy that. That is good stuff. It's a weird cultural product. I don't really know what else to say without just straight up discussing it. And like I said, it's 25 chapters long, so it's not like you can beat around the bush here.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that a lot this episode.
Beating around the bush.
It's a weird thing. I think it's worth reading because it is 25 chapters and it is breezy, and his art is still fun, and it's a fun story. And it's like I said, you get to see Kugisaki for 3 pages. So, it's all right.
It's all right.
But it's old news. I want to talk about something recent.
You want to talk about something recent, something ongoing.
Because I decided, again, every once in a while I want to check in on what's coming out.
Okay.
What is the popular stuff? What's going on in Shonen Jump? What's going on? What is Shueisha putting out? What is Kodansha putting out? What are they promoting these days?
Right. We were talking about this a little bit the other day, looking at some of the top picks on Jump Plus.
They've got kind of a weird spread right now. They're trying to diverge, which I do find is interesting. But I decided to pick out a couple of the weirder ones and check and see what the fuck are they playing at? What is this? What are you doing? Why are you doing this?
Okay.
I read the first few chapters. It looks like it's up to 25, so I've read 25. It's literally as long as Modulo already. I read the first 25 chapters of something called Class of Brains. Okay,
I'm already on board with the title. I like that.
Yeah, Kenji Ichima. It has a great hook because it just opens with the image of a kid in his classroom, and he's surrounded by the Futurama brain tanks on every desk.
Oh, I was not expecting it to be so literal.
It's so literal. And he looks around and he's like, whoa, brains. Damn, that sucks. And that's such a good hook. That image is such a good hook. I was like, yeah, I'm in. Whatever. Even if this is dumb as hell, I want to see what this is. It turns out, surprisingly, that it's very similar to Modulo in one way, which is that we're immediately introduced to aliens who want to coexist with humans and aliens that do not. And the aliens that do have decided to equip humans with the ability to fight the aliens that do not. Because it turns out humans fucking suck, dude.
Well,
they're so bad.
I mean, yeah, I
they're
mean,
such losers.
that is a pretty common theme in a lot of media. Humans are squishy. You know, a lot of sci-fi, like aliens, are extrapolated from ideas of like, hey, what if human but better, right? Like,
Yeah.
isn't that like every other alien in Star Trek? It's like, hey, Romulans or Vulcans. What if humans but like smart and competent most of the time?
Literally the Borg. What if we
Yeah.
turned humans smart?
What if we made them better?
Yeah. So, weirdly enough, like we just talked about, though, it does kind of establish a tournament. The aliens show up and they're like, we need to, since there's a bunch of people vying for Earth, we need to establish some ground rules. And we do want to give the humans like a fighting chance. So what we're going to do is we're going to create brackets.
Nobody guessed that the aliens were strict social Darwinists.
There are different ones, and they each have their different philosophies, which is kind of fun. And they all take a handicap right at the beginning that when they're fighting the humans, they have to wear a human skin suit like Edgar, which is great.
I like that.
It's a good detail.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's funny. And the humans basically get wiped out except for one human who turns out, surprisingly, to be the human that wakes up in his classroom surrounded by brain tanks. The aliens have decided to train one human into developing psychic powers fueled by the brains of his entire class.
Okay, so I have so many questions on what they're
This is
trying
so
to do
weird.
here. Okay, so
It's
why
weird.
why do they want to make just one human that has psychic powers?
So they don't have enough time to train like multiple humans. And like basically no humans actually have the potential to be psychics. They end up with 2 humans who are the only ones in the entire world essentially that have the potential. And one of them doesn't even have combat potential. So they have one human who can actually fight. So it seems like they're kind of screwed right off the bat. But they forge ahead and they decide they're going to train one human in the ability to use psychic powers to fight. Because psychic powers are unique to humanity. No other being in the entire universe uses psychic powers.
Okay. Actually, that's interesting because that confirms something that I'm wondering if this is a trope that's been going on for a long time and I'm now just picking up on it, or if this is something new occurring because, you know, you just talked about this in obviously Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo.
Yep.
And this is more or less the overall plot of what Dan is about. Psychics versus aliens, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure that there's probably a million other manga right now that are doing this.
I mean, that's
like
like
same thing.
It's like ghosts.
Yeah.
Like ghosts versus aliens.
Yeah, but Dan kind of posits that ghosts and psychics all kind of inhabit the same side, right? You know,
They smush them together.
Yeah.
They smush them together. Yeah.
but yes, this general idea of the supernatural versus the like science fiction, but you know what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm just wondering, like, why is that so popular right now? Is it because Dan was such a big hit? Because that's obviously Shonen Jump's, like, it's one of the top hitters right now, right?
Yeah.
With everything else wrapping up, Dan is kind of like de facto one of their top guys.
Yeah. We'll see how long that lasts,
Yeah.
considering, what's going down.
Well, I mean, it's also starting to feel like it's winding down. I think
Yeah.
Dan, its author, definitely wants to move on to new projects after this.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It seems to be the common theme around the big manga right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember I mentioned recently that Spy Family, for the first time in a very long time, had like plot development?
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's an interesting change. Anyway, yeah, I think I do think maybe playing off Dan a little bit, and I also think like There's only really like a couple things you could do with humans, right? If you're fighting aliens,
Well, you can give them robots. That's the obvious
Yeah.
one.
you either give them Gundams and the aliens are like big worms or dinosaurs or whatever. Or you're fighting against technologically advanced aliens and you have to be the scrappy underdogs who use like the common cold or a computer virus.
Yep.
You know, what are the other? Or you have like a weirdo who has psychic powers. It makes sense to me. What I like about this version is the aliens training up. Basically say like no human being can actually use psychic powers. Like the human brain is not equipped to like actually utilize the powers that are locked within. Which is why we turned most of your entire class into brains who are going to do the CPU handling. They're not CPU, they're GPU. They're like off-board memory processing.
they're offloading the labor of processing.
Yeah.
onto all these other brains. They're spreading it out.
Yes, which is very funny. It's a funny thing.
Does he see into his classmates' memories and shit?
No,
Oh,
not at all. No, they are brain fuel.
okay.
They are just processors that he can offload. They're like multi-core processors. He just sends them processing. He sends them tasks, and they send back processing power.
Wow, that sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, he's really mad about it.
I'd be too.
To his credit, he's really mad about it.
I mean, they could have gone the other direction where, like, he was one of those, like, super vindictive, like, Chunibyo types. I hate all those normies. And he's, like, super stoked about them getting turned into brains.
Yeah, it could have done that.
That would have been an interesting story where he's, like, at first super stoked about his class getting turned into brains, and then he slowly realizes that the aliens are, I don't know, doing weird mind experiments on him or whatever.
Yeah, and he doesn't like being alone all the time.
Yeah,
it actually sucks, turns out.
Yeah, we do a Twilight Zone, whatever.
I think this is like worth reading because even without that process, that premise, it is fun. It's a fun read. I hope it maintains some kind of momentum because I could see this crashing and burning very quickly. But the manga has made it through the first fight.
Okay.
And it's fun. It is not like a tournament fight, even though it's a tournament. The fight itself is very funny.
I'm looking at it. The art seems pretty cool. I like the way it looks.
It's good.
A lot of brains.
A lot of brains.
Okay.
They're throwing brains around like crazy.
All right.
And I have one other one as an antidote to that. I wanted to talk about a very different thing that I found kind of charming and strange to put in like a Shonen Jump or Manga Plus on Shueisha, I think is where I found it. This one is called Smiley and Lively, star emoticon, Your Girl Happy.
Okay, so don't say anything more.
Yeah.
I'm getting
Read my mind.
I'm getting Happy Sugar Life from the title.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, you're on the right track.
Uh-huh. All right, go on.
It's not like crazy fucked up horror. It's more of an anti slice of life story. Your Girl Happy is surprisingly not very happy. But when she is in public, and especially at her job, she works the desk at a clinic.
Sure.
Specifically a pediatrician's office. So she has to deal with kids.
Ugh.
So she constantly maintains this like happy-go-lucky, like it says, facade.
Mm-hmm.
But when she goes home to her disgusting like beer can riddled apartment filled with trash bags and shit, she spends all of her time like pitying herself and crying and she is really fucked up and sad about the world and herself.
Yeah, relatable.
Shit is not going good. Yeah, it is very relatable.
Hey, who hasn't been there on any given weekday?
Yeah. And so a lot of the story is like how could she possibly survive this insanely horrible depressive episodes of her life while keeping her job as a happy-go-lucky pediatrician's assistant or whatever. This seems like something like a teenager would maybe not relate super hard to, like the despair of working a shitty job and coming home and just feeling bad for yourself and sorry and like lonely and shit.
I think you may be a little off base there. I think maybe teenagers feel that more than most people.
I think teenagers can relate to feeling bad about yourself, but they absolutely do not get the crushing emotional work it takes to do your job and not get fired.
Yep.
Because you're sad that day. That is not something that teenagers will understand. Even if they have they work at Starbucks or whatever, a job like that, you can come in and
and that's why
complain.
We're working so hard to repeal labor laws so that we can employ these teenagers in these jobs.
The children yearn for the mines, as they say.
Yeah.
This is really fun. It's a weird thing to say, but I really appreciate it. I really like it. It is not slice of life, happy-go-lucky people enjoying the little things. It is a person struggling to survive the mundanity of a world that is trying to kill you.
Yes. Okay, so
that's good. That's a good thing. I like it a lot.
I mean, I like that. I like it when authors, have fun with kind of dark, depressing, relatable topics like that. Back to what I was saying about teenagers finding this relatable. I think if we're being serious about it and looking at it in context, this is...
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that.
I think maybe this is gaining... Well, I don't know. I don't know if this is gaining traction. This is just something you read.
Who knows?
Is this popular, or does this just exist? I don't know.
It made it past 7 chapters.
Okay. That's not nothing.
So it's a good start. I think it hit 10 recently. I haven't read all of them up to the 10, but that's a good sign so far.
And I think you're asking what teenager is relating to this. I don't think any teenager, and specifically talking about Japanese teenagers who are reading, this as it's being published. I don't think that they are going to have firsthand experience relating to these concepts, but it's not foreign to them. We have to realize that media, manga, and anime, regardless of whether it's aimed at a specific age group, is steeped with the trope of the Japanese salaryman at this point, right?
Yes.
Which is something that American media used to kind of tongue-in-cheek make fun of. Well,
Jack Lemmon crushed it 70 years ago, and we have never had to move on from there because he did it. He did all of it.
He just did that.
Yeah.
And now that kind of soul-drained corporate working stereotype is just something that is globally recognizable. It's not a Japanese stereotype anymore. That's just that's just something that is relatable to white-collar workers the world over. And
the problem but I will say the problem with the salary worker, right, is when you are a man, you are allowed to be stoic.
Yes.
You don't have to be fucking cheerful and over the top. You don't have to be happy and presenting as somebody who is, helpful and nice. They get to just be, show up, do a good job, leave. That is, oh God, do I have to say male privilege? But that is male privilege.
It is. And to that I say, to anybody who thinks being the stoic, cool, strong, silent type is a way to be, if you see that as a model for yourself, I would just like to remind you that solemnity is the shield of idiots, and not saying anything and trying to look cool off in the corner makes you look like an asshole.
Find someone to talk to.
Yes. And so, bringing it back, what I'm trying to say with all that, Fuck. I lost my place. I was rambling.
He lost it.
He
lost it. The point is, being emo is applicable to all ages and genders.
Oh, no. Okay. Bringing it back to what I was trying to say is, media is steeped in that kind of like corporate hellscape now. Kids know that is what's waiting for them at a certain point in life. And I think that is why maybe this has resonated enough to warrant, multiple chapters getting published. I think that yes, people do yes, I do think teenagers are relating to that feeling these days, which is concerning.
It is concerning. I also think that there is one of these micro genres that we should really start breaking down. I really want to do that. About women who are hitting their like early to mid 30s and like realizing that there maybe are some problems with their lifestyle. The one I really liked a long time ago was, do you remember that one I talked about where I guess you can interpret it different ways, but the way I thought about it was the woman manifests her virginity in the form of an annoying unicorn that follows her around everywhere.
Yes. Yeah, I remember.
Yes. I really like that one. That is a bit of coming from a different direction, but it is kind of a similar concept.
Yes, how Stella got her groove back is a micro genre.
Yeah. What the fuck am I going to do? That is the central question. And I don't know if anybody ever gets the answer, but that is an important and powerful question.
Yeah. I would love to look into more like niche micro genre stuff like that. Like we were just talking recently about like a bad one is the like forced cohabitation kind of micro genre.
Yeah.
Like
yep.
That's a real bad one.
Yeah. Yeah. Now imagine what happens when it's prison.
Yeah. Wait, no, that's just regular prison.
Yeah, that is regular prison. I've got some stories about kids who go to juvie that have some forced cohabitation in them.
Those sound sketchy.
We'll get into it.
All right.
I think there's no way to do it now. We need to wrap up. But I also want to talk about Flowers of Evil and talk about Oshimishizu.
Yes.
And Blood on the Tracks.
Yes. Let's wrap it up for now because we carried way too long. We talked way too long about fucking Mandalorian and Grogu. We got to stop doing that. But let's bring it back next episode for a part 2 to this manga catch up stuff because I also got some stuff that I read that I want to talk about.
And tell us, do you want to hear about popular stuff?
Yeah.
Or not.
Hey, let us know in the comments. That. Send us an email.
Vote. Put a poll up. I want to know if you want to hear about popular stuff or not.
Hey, send us an email at animedeathspiral@gmail.com. We might even see it.
We might see it.
Yeah.
In the mountains of spam that we get. Mm-hmm. We might actually spot it.
Hey, check us out on our subreddit, r/anime death spiral. That exists. That's a real thing.
That's a thing? You made that?
I made that.
Oh. Damn.
I know.
That's crazy, dog. I wonder why.
Okay. All right, fuck. Beautiful, tall, handsome listener. Thank you once again for listening to us ramble and mispronounce Jujutsu Kaisen.
Force somebody else to listen to this.
Yeah.
If you heard our voices, force somebody else to listen.
Hey, here's a challenge. If you're on a road trip, just take control of the radio and just put on our episodes on shuffle for 8-9 hours.
And whenever you look over at their disappointed face, be like, what?
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 That is proven to be the number one way to get engagement, like to generate new engagement. Is that specific scenario. So go make that happen.
That is how a lot of people listen to their podcast now, is with somebody who doesn't want to hear it and they're just going like, what? What is it?
Spitefully showing your podcast to people in a trapped environment.
Yeah.
Oh, the perfect venue for us. Okay. Until next time. Bye.
Here's a note that is mysterious to me. The note is titled Story Idea. And then it's just these things on each their own line. Oh, Cyber War. Moonlight Maze. Slammer Worm. Advanced Persistent Threat. Aurora. China People's Liberation Army. PLA Unit 61398. Balder. Pharmakinesis? With a question mark.